Welcome to the Love Junk Show. We gon' talk some ish, get into it, so make sure you stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe. Wow. Hey, love bugs.
Hey, love bugs, what's up? I hope you're having a good morning, noon, night. Whenever this video may reach you, do your girl a favor, hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you can get that thing whenever I upload a new video. So today, we are going to be talking about none other than the infamous Miss Brittany Renner, okay? Y'all may have heard of her. She has been like an Instagram girl. She has been famous. She wrote a tell-all book about her sex capades with all of these athletes and rappers and entertainers and a few and far in between. The girl done been spread thin. She done walked and ran through. Like, we just gonna call it what it is. And this is not even me judging. This is like by her own admission. She literally put out a book. And we gonna get into what she said. Then we gonna come back and we gonna discuss. Check this out.
Myself to just be like used up by men. And that came from a lack of self-worth. I did not understand my value that I was born with. I didn't. And I gave, again, people look at sex differently, but sex is spiritual unification. At the end of the day, I don't care how you spin it. It's spiritual.
For women.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah,
for
women.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. For women, it's spiritual unification. And people that I shared my body with, when I think about my list, it's repulsive because they didn't deserve it. But that was an outcome of me discounting my worth. And it's disgusting. I hate even having that spiritual tie in any type of way. But yeah, I would absolutely change sexually how I move around. And not even necessarily because of like the societal outcome. It's more so from my self-worth.
Like, how it makes you like feel.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good knowing that you gave a sacred part of you to a man that looked at sex with you as taking a piss. It's not fulfilling. It's disgusting to think about. And I feel like I've beat myself up every single day for my decisions. And what people say about me online holds no candle to what I've told myself on a daily basis. Like, I've been called worse by better, and that better being me. Like, I have talked down to myself, and I felt like I was unworthy for a very long time. And I would say this is more of a recent awareness, like in the past year, where I'm like.
So y'all heard your girl basically say that she feels like a piece of shit. She regrets allowing certain men to have access to her body that absolutely didn't deserve it because she didn't know her worth. She says she's disgusted with herself. She talked about how she talks down on herself, and the things that people say on the internet don't hold a candle to the self-talk that she experiences on a daily. She also says that she just now gained this self-awareness, like maybe within the past year, and she's remorseful and regretful. And she said, there's men that she shared her body with that really like looked at it as the same as just taking a piss. That is so, I know she's hurt and she's broken, and she also talked about the soul ties. These are things that I always talk about over and over again. When you exchange sexual energy with somebody, you are literally intertwining souls. Like, we take it so cavalier and we make it seem like sex is nothing, but it literally is a sacred act, especially if you're doing it unprotected. In her book, I remember she went viral. I never read the book, but I remember clips of her going viral because she said she didn't use protection. So she let all sorts of entities and energies and spirits just enter her body, her temple, and now it caught up to her and she's paying for it. I remember I did a video before. I'm going to put the link so you guys can check it out, on this girl that said that she likes to get gangbanged and she enjoys being worshipped and it makes her feel like a goddess. And I remember specifically saying in this video, does this girl really feel this way? Or is she conditioning herself to say these things because it's a coping mechanism? It's a defense mechanism. It's I already put myself in this situation, so I might as well just try to make light of it. Is it because you were abused or traumatized, or your confidence was in the pits, your self-esteem was low, you didn't really love on yourself, you didn't know your self-worth? Nobody really likes to admit this. So I commend Brittany Renner for actually coming out and saying she did not know her worth. She did not regard her. She didn't have a high regard for herself or her body. She didn't know any better. And I really respect it, because so many women will get up here and lie and talk about how they feel liberated and it's freedom and, oh, I get to do this and that. And like, a lot of women don't want to do sex work. A lot of women don't want to be at the strip club shaking ass. A lot of women don't want to be on Pornhub. Like, this is not something that people just wake up one day and be like, oh, I think I'm going to do this. I keep saying a lot. That must be the word of this video. A lot. There's lots of reasons why people are like geared towards certain lifestyles. It has a lot to do with, how you grew up. It has a lot to do with the value you have on yourself and whether or not you are mentally and emotionally stable. Are you disconnected from your soul because you've been traumatized, because you've been, like I said, abused? People don't just wake up and say, hey, I'm going to give my body to 100,000 guys. Like, are you impoverished? Like, there's always a reason behind people going certain routes. This is not to say that a woman cannot enjoy sex and have, agency over her sexual agency over her own body, and that she can't, be promiscuous by nature. Like, I'm not saying that none of this exists. However, in most instances and in most cases, women are broken. They're hurt. They don't love themselves. They don't have self-awareness. They don't even know what they're doing. They're on autopilot. They're using sex as a coping mechanism. They're using orgasms to release endorphins and to release chemicals to make them feel good, happy hormones. They're using it to feel a sense of connection to someone, and it's the wrong reasons. The wrong reasons. And then you wake up when you're 30 years old and you're like, what the fuck did I do with my life into my body? And now, how do I repair my soul? How do I begin to repair my soul? And I also said this in another video. I can't remember what I was talking about. Or was this a podcast I did? When we were talking about, like, sex work or whatever the case may be, and there's different forms of sex work. Like, there's different levels. You could be a dominatrix where you're not even engaging in intercourse with a person. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing like kink stuff, like, or you just literally letting everybody run up in you. And I think we were talking about Black China, and it's like, oh, well, she's rich, and what about Black China? I'm like, do you not see the vacancy in her eyes? Think about the average woman that you see that has exploited herself to no bound. Look into her eyes. There's no spark there. She probably could fake it for a little bit, but there's no authenticity. Like, they don't feel warm. They don't feel inviting. They don't feel nurturing because their soul is broken. They are not a whole people. They're not. There's no way. Like, nobody wants to do that. If Black China wanted to do that, she would not have hired someone to scrub her past. You can't Google all of the stuff, the explicit stuff you used to be able to see about her, because she doesn't want to be attached to that anymore. She no longer wants to be that girl. This doesn't mean, once again, that a woman can't feel sexy or a woman has to be a nun. I'm not saying that. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm not a nun. I've slept, I've done things, but this is not about me. Well, I can make it about me because this is my motherfucking video. One thing I will say about me personally, no matter how many times I've been cashed out, flued out, whatever the case may be, my body, my temple, who I am not built for that. To have multiple men up in me, unsheathed, like raw, like I'm my body, I don't know. Like, some people, and I've said this before, some people could be whores and they're still fine. They still seem to be good. They don't be looking washed and worn out. I can't do that. Like, it's really a serious energy exchange for me. So, and it depends on who I'm sleeping with, his energy. I can either be drained because I give a lot. I'm very strong. Like, everything is like power, right? So when I give that to somebody, he'll flourish. This is somebody that's a energy vampire that does not have the same power that I have. He'll flourish. He'll be doing great. He'll be like looking better. And I look drained and tired and worn out and can't function and can't do what I need to do. That's what happens to me. Like, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm not built for just having a whole bunch of different energies enter into this vessel. Now, with that being said, Brittany Renner absolutely needs to seek help, because I feel like when a person could just share their body with any and everybody, like, a piece of you is missing. Your soul is not completely intact. Once again, it's a form of escapism. It's a form of coping. Like, you really got to do some soul searching to dig deep to see what it is that you need, that you could possibly give to yourself, and how you could start the road to recovery and to healing. And it's just, I hope that she does a better job at her self-talk, because the way we talk to ourselves is what we actually start to believe. And, you know, people could say things to you and you could start to internalize that. But when the internalizing happens is when you start to say those things to yourself. And that's when it sticks, and that's when it becomes your reality. And that's when it's even harder to get a hold on that and reverse, you know, those thoughts. I'm going to send some prayers out to this girl, because that has to be hard. She looks hurt. You could see it in her face. You could see it in her eyes that she looks hurt. She's devastated at what she's allowed. And we don't even know half of the things that this girl has been through. We don't know. She's a new mom. She has a baby with a much younger man that just went out and had a baby with someone else. And she played up on it. Oh, I'm a whore. Who cares? Who cares? That's what people do. It's a defense mechanism. You do care. You do. And that's why I am so grateful that somebody actually said it out loud, that we could have evidence of them saying, I don't care. I'm a whore. This is me. Hear me roar. No, you care. You care. It's no way that a person with an ounce of soul left is okay with, like, a man having sex with them and treating it just as cavalier as taking a piss. Like, that is hurtful. That hurts you to you. That gets to the core of you. Get up in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. Do you feel like most women that are promiscuous and whores, do you think that they really don't care? Do you think that they just loud and proud? Or do you think it's a defense mechanism? Do you think that Brittany Renner can be salvaged? Do you think that she could get a reign on, you know, like, save herself? What y'all think? Are y'all promiscuous? Do you sleep around? Can you just detach yourself from sex? Do you believe in soul ties? Get up in the comments and sound up below. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Be good. And make sure you love yourself, okay? Love on yourself. Give yourself the love that you wish somebody else would give you. Emanate. I don't know if that was the right word. But anyways, give off love. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm about to go and Google emanate, because I don't know. Tell me what that means, if it means anything, or if I just made up something. Anyways, I love y'all, but I love bugs. I will be back again soon. And once again, spread love. This is the Brooklyn way, and be good. And like, comment, subscribe, and share, because I know you care. Period.